Hello, I'm Rhonda Buttery, and I'm here today for Esoteric Technologies, and we're going to talk about transit to transit reports. To start with, I've selected a transit chart by clicking on Select Current Transits, and there we are with the Here and Now chart. Now I can see what transit aspects are happening by clicking on the listing, and there's a list of the current transit. But we're going to go further than that. Using dynamic selection, we're going to run a time period report of transits that are happening in the sky. So I've started by clicking on the dynamic button, and the last transit set I used is what is displayed. We always start with something. So let's start with, oops, I'm going to create a new one. So I'll start with the three dots beside the name and manage jobs and create. I need to start with something. So I'll start with transits and progressions, and I'm going to adjust that to show me just transits to planets in the sky. There's the one I've just created. So now I'm going to edit it. Now, it's a good idea never to edit sets that come with the program, because when you update, you're likely to lose the work you've done. So this we're going to call transits to transits. I don't always worry with the time span, because anytime I'm going to run one of these reports, I get the option to tell it when I want to start and how long I want to run for. But the usual is that you'd start from, the default is from the beginning of last month and run for 14 months, which gives you a month into now and then a month after the year. Now, first thing we're going to do is delete progressions to radix, because I don't want them in this set. I'm going to click on it and delete. And now we're going to look at what we've got here, and it says transits to radix, which I don't want. So I'm going to edit that and make it by clicking on the dynamic type at the top. I'm going to make it transits to transits. Now, while I'm here, you'll notice all of the options that I can create for my dynamic report. Now, the next thing we do is select what planets we want to look at transits from. At the moment, we've got the outers and the north node. You might want to add Mars to that. You can add any of the planets that you want. No, I don't want that one, but we'll have Mercury and Venus. I won't bother with extra points here, but I can add extra points just as I can in my display point set. So we'll just, and I escaped and went too far. So let's reselect that and save that part of my equation. So now we're transits, 12 points, moon to north node. Now, what aspects do I want to consider? Click on the dots again, and I've got conjunction, opposition, trine, square, sextile, semi-square, and sesquiquadrate. As with all of our little selection windows, all you have to do is click to select or deselect. Now, you might not want semi-squares and sesquiquadrates. We can take them out and then click Save. Now, what points do we want our transits to go to? In this one, it's the same as the from points. We've got further options here. We can add enter and leaving orb. We can include planetary stations. We can include eclipses. We can include perigees and apogees, and we can include sign ingress events. You'll notice there is a grayed out option here. Depending on what you're selecting and different things you're doing, different options are available. So now we're going to save that. And what have I got? I've got transits to transits from the 1st of September this year for 14 months, using transits to transits from 12 points in the sky, using 5 aspects to 12 other points in the sky. I'm ready to go, so I'm going to save my whole set, and there it is, transits to transits, and now I can choose to run it. So let's come back up here to dynamic transits to transits. And in our dynamic listing, which we got to from here, dynamic, transit to transits is the last one that I just saved. So that's what it remembers. I can change my location if I choose by clicking on the location pin. I can change my start and finish date as I want. And we've got a little calendar button here so you can easily move it to wherever you want. We're running for 14 months. We're looking for the listing and I'm going to click run. And there is my list of transits for the time period that I selected. And we read this. I'll just make it big enough so you can see it. So Mercury is trine, Chiron, and there's the date. And we're looking at transit to transit. They are all transit to transit because that's the only thing I've selected in this search. I can sort by date. I can sort by transiting planet. Well, they're all transiting planets at the moment. Date can often be the easiest to work with. I can change my sort by clicking on the heading of the column or by clicking on the little sort button here and tell it which order I want to be sorted by. I can sort ascending or descending, and I can include section breaks or omit section breaks. From here, I can also look at the time graph, which will show me, those colors aren't very good, are they? But that will show me when things happen on a calendar type presentation. So you'll see the things that were already started were showing for September. When we get to October, we can see the transits that are happening, and they're happening in time order, showing you when they start, when they're exact, and other options at the top will change what you see. We're just looking at the exact. If I change entering and leaving, we'll see when a planet aspect is coming into orb and when it is leaving. Or we can see the dates. And to go back to the listing, just click on listing. But before we do that, remember you can export anything you've created that has the export pin. You can print that, save it as a PDF, send it to various places. And that works in both formats, whether it's on the listing or whether it's on the time graph. And before we finish this morning, I just want to remind you that your user guide is under the blue eye at the top right of your screen. So please enjoy your software. We do have lots of video clips on our YouTube pages, and we do run classes to help you better understand your software and get the most out of it. So thanks for being with us today, and it's goodbye from me.